go.
Okay. Bertie, let's just talk about the new camera system that you've introduced and also what necessitated it.
Yes, in our post-season debriefing with the clubs and with our service providers and with the other SASRIA and the JOC and ESSBC stakeholders, we decided to enhance the camera system around the venue. It's just the fact that manpower can't be everywhere, and if you want to be everywhere, you need to deploy a lot of people. So in conjunction with Servist, we decided to do an assessment and an audit of where we need cameras in and around the venue to assist on event day, and also in the day-to-day security of the venue. So as you've seen in the presentation, I think that the biggest enhancement is in the bowl, where you now can zoom into any individual causing havoc, and you'll monitor it from the VOC, and we'll get reaction units to deal with those issues immediately and on the point. Also at the turnstiles and access points, the PTZ cameras that can zoom into those areas and assist the VOC commander and the safety officer to redirect people to available gates and to get assistance where there's issues at these gates.
Just in terms of planning, how effective is the new system? How far can it go? And maybe not necessarily picking up on the areas that you are targeting, but what were you looking to cover?
Yes, as I say, we covered critical areas and specifically access points at the moment as well. And this is phase one of a three-phase project. So we're looking at motion cameras going forward. We're looking at AI counting at turnstiles and access points. But I'm very confident, and you've seen the capabilities and the capacity of the cameras today in the presentation. It's going to be a game changer for the VOC to manage events.
Mm-hmm. So does it also, I guess, since the VOC is also based here, there's also JMPD as well. I guess you are even able to communicate with the JMPD for planning purposes in terms of what to expect.
Yes, with the bigger games that we're hosting now, we also got the drones assisting with traffic management. So on the upper side of the VOC, those two screens is solely dedicated to the drone cameras. We've got two in the air with the big events. They will again be fully functional for the Sundowns Kaizer Chiefs fixture. And that again is a game changer for JMPD because you can immediately see where there's an issue, where there's a backlog, to deal with it from the VOC and redirect resources to those points.
People don't know these things. That game is in 2 weeks' time, but the VOC is already here planning for that game.
Yes, this morning the ESSBC, the Event Safety and Security Planning Committee, already had their third planning meeting. So it's far in advance, and there's I think there's talk of upping the capacity, so there needs to be a change in some of the planning. I haven't had the feedback yet, but yeah, definitely full on in planning.
I guess with Amakosi starting to win, so it also means you have to check up again this season.
Yes, I think it would be interesting if they get another win on the weekend in Durban. I think we'll have a big capacity crowd on the 28th.
Most of these incidents, though, especially with traffic and all those things, have also happened at your other venue, Orlando Stadium. And you do say that maybe not exactly the same system that you introduced here, you're also coming with it at Orlando.
Indeed. Service starting with the project rollout in 2 weeks' time. So very similar, the exact same cameras, maybe a bit less deployment because the venue is a bit smaller, but also the exact same quality and monitoring into a VOC. And Orlando will also be monitored on a 24/7 basis from the operating room at FNB Stadium.
Transportation has also been an issue. It was a different case around the 2010 World Cup. We were talking about park and ride, but we saw now with the Springboks game, the government going out on a huge PR drive of Prasa. I think they also did something similar for Orlando Stadium, but at a smaller scale. So what is the plan here?
I'm very happy to say, and we've received feedback from the City of Johannesburg that they're busy, and you'll see when you drive out, they're already busy maintaining and doing some maintenance to the train station. It will not be functional for the 28th, but I know there's definite plans from the City of Johannesburg, and they're driving that initiative as well. Because as you say, this precinct can't handle the amount of traffic without public support or public transport assistance. It is always going to be a mess. And then I said to you, and I don't mean it in a rude way, but the responsibility of this can't always fall on the event organizer, the stadium, the safety and security cluster to manage. Our spectators need to play their role. You saw the footage that I showed you now. People, half an hour before the game, the amount of people that was at the venue already. We need to arrive earlier, especially with the traffic congestion that we all know.
Right. In fact, on this, because I see you also taking us through introducing the beer garden and all those things. Do you think that, because we attend other sporting events, maybe with football, if we can also ramp up more on activities and entertainment and leading to the game, this can also encourage these people to arrive early?
Yes, definitely. From our side, we're going to try and enhance the in-stadium experience for fans with the beer garden and concessions. And without speaking on behalf of any club, I know they're also busy in their planning for the season, entertainment related and pre-event entertainment. But I know, and I was involved in planning previously, where all of these efforts sometimes went to nothing because the fans don't support the efforts. And again, the fans really need to play their part in assisting us to secure a safe and secure event.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, the issue of the tickets, and this Ticket Pro ticket, a few weeks ago I also bought it for some family members, and I couldn't understand that they're giving us these slips. So I see that now you've put a stop to it.
Yes, again, following our pre-season or post-season debrief sessions, we engaged with Ticket Pro, and it is clear that the main source of fraudulent tickets is the so-called till slip tickets. Except for that, it also gets faded if it's bought earlier, and it creates issues with scanning. So we collectively made a decision, and the club's obviously involved in this, at the two venues that we manage. And from the 1st of February, we're going to discontinue the till slip tickets. So fans will either buy the tickets digitally, and there's a massive growth in the numbers, and then also what we call the thermal tickets, the actual hard copy ticket. Why have we delayed it up until January? It is to give Ticket Pro the opportunity to expand their footprint and put more printers in places to make up for the loss of this till slip buying opportunity. But yeah, the fans will need to support us there as well. It's affecting a lot of people if there's fraudulent tickets going around, and that is the source of creating stampedes and pushing and shoving. People with legitimate tickets don't create those issues. So we need to get rid of those involved in fraudulent activities.
And lastly, the main issue here, I think I was at Orlando Stadium for a game between, I think it was Zimbabwe, I think Paris was launching a jersey, and we could see the pitch was grey, and people didn't understand the issues of reseeding. When the first game was played, there were still some patches, but a week later it was in pristine condition. I can see even here the calabash pitch behind you. Just take us through what goes in, especially in preparing for the new season's pitch.
You see, and I must confess, this is a bit of a commercial discussion as well. because you want to extend your season as far as possible. We've got the fixtures from African countries playing here. So the pitch maintenance service provider will give you a window that you've got to reseed the pitch and get it ready for the first fixture of the season. Now you want to push that as far as possible to get as many matches in as you can. And then there's the weather that plays a part as well. This year we cut it very fine. We were a week too early or too late with the 2 cold fronts that we had. And that was the major issue. And you'll see in any stadium on the northern side where there's no sun, in the winter, that the ground temperature never reaches above a freezing point in the cold of winter, and nothing will grow there. So you either need to decide, I'm not going to reseed and holotine and take out the thatch, and then you're going to sit with a thick carpet that the coaches don't want to play on, or you need to go through this process, but you need to get your timing right. So I was so happy when the season was delayed, and then the next day we got the call that the MTN 8 is on that weekend, and I knew we were going to get some shots on the nose, but happy to say I think that the pitch is really good now. As I say, we just needed a week.
Grazie.
Thank you.